Good morning, now 4:38. Turning to farm news, North Dakota's legislature and governor have approved it, but you may get a chance to vote on loosening North Dakota's corporate farming restrictions. The Secretary of State has approved the North Dakota Farmers Union's petition drive to force a statewide vote on Senate Bill 2351, which exempts dairy and swine operations from North Dakota's anti-corporate farming law. The group must gather at least 13,452 qualified signatures by June 18th to put that issue on the ballot in June of 2016. Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton got an earful from farmers over his plan to protect the state's lakes, rivers, and streams from water and pollution runoff. Reporter Lou Ragus shows us why many farmers feel the proposed buffer zones are a one-size-fits-all solution that will be ineffective and hurt their bottom line.
That informs farmers.
Dave Legvold's farm outside Northfield is friendly territory for Governor Mark Dayton. Legvold supports the governor's proposal to require 50-foot buffer strips between cropland and waterways. He created his own 2 years ago.
We're giving it a try.
Yeah, well, that's progress right there.
Yeah.
But a lot of farmers think the proposal won't fit everyone, and they let the governor know about it at a town hall meeting today at Legvold's farm.
Really, it's nonsense to think that a one-size-fits-all buffer program is going to work for the whole state.
Bottom line just gets modified to fit the farm.
To the governor and those looking at the issue from the mindset of an environmentalist, the new law would add 125,000 acres of land to filter pollutants from entering the water supply. But to many farmers and landowners, the government would be taking away 125,000 acres of land.
You want it, you buy it. That's what the Constitution says. Can it be any more simple or direct than that?
That was a starting point. 50-foot buffer was a starting point.
Governor Dayton conceded today that one size won't fit all, but he says the conversation needed to be started and something needs to be done to protect the water. And even farmers opposed to the law agreed that's important.
I think it's a pretty uniform consensus that one size does not fit all. However, we are not trying to skirt the issue. We want to have good water quality. It's important to our state. It's important to the farmers.
Certainly no guarantee a bill will be passed in the remaining 6 weeks of Minnesota's legislative session, but Governor Dayton says the current bill provides flexibility for farmers who don't need the entire 50 feet to stop runoff. A final Clean Water Act rule with revisions has been sent to the Office of Management and Budget for review. EPA Administrator Gina McCarthy promises the final rule would provide a, quote, better description of what connections are important for a stream, ditch, or pond to connect with a navigable body of water. Final rule would ensure that erosion in a farmer's field wouldn't qualify. McCarthy promised the final rule will only regulate ditches that, quote, function like tributaries and can carry pollution downstream. But she didn't divulge any specifics of the changes that have been made. Time now for Stewardship Wednesday, staying ahead of the curve in animal care. March 27th, the White House released a comprehensive plan of action to combat the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The National Action Plan for Combating Antibiotic-Resistant Bacteria does include the use of antibiotics in animal agriculture.
We know that putting some antibiotics in the feed actually makes them grow better. Now, the use of antibiotics in the feed for that purpose is actually very low. We try and use them only when they're indicated. I would like to think that we don't misuse them or use them inappropriately, but that's all part of this overall theme of what you're seeing and what just came out of reducing resistance in humans, reducing the level of antibiotic resistance that's showing up on some bacterial infections in humans. One of the missing links here is that it's really never been demonstrated that the use of antibiotics in livestock has contributed to antibiotic resistance in the bacteria that infect human beings. That's the thing that we're missing here. And I know there's part of what this drive is that came out is to reduce antibiotic use, or I should say make wiser decisions on the human side too. Some people have claimed that 50% of all antibiotic use is not needed on the human side, is what I'm saying. I think it's a good issue for us to take control of, to say, you know what, we need a little more accountability on the use of antibiotics in the livestock industry.
So as another talking point, a starting point for a conversation. All right, time is 4:43. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll check the severe weather potential today for the Corn Belt and what kind of moisture we can expect here in the valley.